Kevin McCarthy here in beautiful New York City. I can't tell you how excited I am to actually be here. Getting ready to talk with Tom Cruise and the stars of Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol in IMAX right now in theaters. Make sure you check it out.
Comm check. We're live.
Target acquired.
What the hell is that?
Abort.
Absolute honor to meet you. I respect you so much as an actor because you do all this your own stunt work, and it's amazing to me because you've been doing this for so long. You don't necessarily have to do this, but it adds to the movie and it makes it more believable.
That's what I wanted.
Do you feel like you're setting the bar for the new generation of actors that people should be doing this?
You know, I think I don't necessarily feel they should be doing it. I want to do it, and I can do it. And these things are, you know, I produce these movies, and these things are designed around what I can do. And if I don't know how, I learn how to do it. They're very, listen, it's very technical, and it takes a lot. So I don't expect other people to do it. And if they want to do it, you know, I say, you know, train properly and do it right, because otherwise, you know, you're going to get hurt. But I want to entertain an audience, so that's what I do.
You definitely did that. Congratulations to you. It's an absolute honor to meet you. An absolute honor. Thank you, sir.
Ethan, what happened in the Kremlin?
It was a setup.
The Russians are classifying this as an undeclared act of war. The blame points to you and your team. The president has initiated Ghost Protocol. The entire IMF has been disavowed.
So what happens now?
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
Honor to meet you. I met you at the Super 8 junket. Oh, cool. We nerded out about lens flares. So I have to ask you, I'm a massive fan of your lens flares. As a producer, do you get to go in there? I saw some flares, and I was like, did JJ have anything to do with that? The SUV scene with the blue lights?
No, I had nothing to do with flares. The beautiful thing about anamorphic lenses is that when light hits them directly on, the lens flares just happen. Admittedly, I overuse them. I think they're beautiful, and so I kind of end up being attracted to, you know, the light and the glass, how they interact. But Brad Bird did that stuff on his own. I had nothing to do with that. One of the greatest action scenes I've ever seen in the history of film is the bridge scene in Mission Impossible 3. When Tom's running and that missile hits the bridge and he flies against the car, how did you shoot that? I have to know. Please tell me. I will tell you that the stunts in Ghost Protocol to me go, you know, far surpass what we did in Mission 3. But in that one, we had Tom on this crazy rig, and we just literally yanked him right into this car, which was an intense and insane thing to see. And we blew up the car behind him, and we sort of, you know, composited that together. But Tom actually did the stunt, and like with everything you see in this film, he's willing to and then does do almost every single thing, every single stunt, which is insane. I mean,
he doesn't need to do them.
He has no fear.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
It looks amazing. It makes it more believable.
It does. It makes for a better movie, but, you know, it's rare to find an actor willing to do this kind of stuff.
Well, listen, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
The secretary is dead. The four of us are all that remains of the IMF. No safe house, no support or extraction. Everyone connected with this man is an asset with valuable information. We come back with our target, or we don't come back.
And how do you propose that we do that?
We take him out.
Yeah, we take her out, but, you know, discreetly.
Discreetly.
Kevin from Washington, D.C.
How are you, Kevin? Good to see you, love.
I have to say, in the movie, you have a great emotional balance and also this kick-ass balance. Where's that balance for you as an actress? Where you're being an emotional in one scene and then also you're being kick-ass in the next? Where's that balance for you?
I don't know what the balance is. I think that you figure it out as you go. You gotta just jump into the scene. You prepare, and then when they yell action, you gotta let it all go and just see where it takes you.
You did a fantastic job.
Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
to you. Thank you so much for the
interview.
interview.
This operation is over before it even begins.
Would you care to explain yourself, Brandt?
Who are you really?
We all have our secrets. Don't we, Ethan?
I've been tweeting people about you have to see this movie in 70mm IMAX, and I want to ask you as a director, you know, because there are these other IMAX formats out there that other theaters have, the digital prints, which are not the true 70mm prints that they're showing like in the science museums. Can you talk about the difference between those two different IMAX formats, like the ones you can see with the 70mm projector?
Well, their aspect ratios are slightly different. The method of getting them on the screen is different. The bottom line is releases for big films are so huge these days that the print runs are massive, and there's no way to control. The goal is to try to get them in as many theaters as possible. Right. And so on opening day, you can see a movie in a good theater or a terrible theater. And we wanted to have a little window where all the first people that saw this movie saw it on a big screen with a bright, sharp image and great sound. And we thought that would be unique in its own way, you know what I mean?
Does that kill you as a director, knowing that there may be a bad theater out there showing that your beautiful film, and you're like it's almost like how does that feel for you? Because I only go to specific theaters to watch these screens because it's so bright and vibrant and massive. How does that feel as a director, knowing that there are bad screens?
Well, I mean, we don't like it because when we judge all this stuff, we turn our bulbs up bright and we calibrate our machines, and that's the way we look at it, and we kind of kid ourselves thinking that that's the way the public sees it. So I think that if I were saying anything to movie lovers, it would be insist on more from your local theaters. Make sure they turn the bulb up to the brightness, because they turn it down darker to save money. Don't let them do that. You paid good money. Make them turn up the bulb. So, and you know, if the sound is bad, complain. They have to listen if everybody starts complaining. But, you know, basically, movie theaters are the best place to see movies. And so I'm not ragging on movie theaters. I want to preserve that experience. And the best, you know, everybody's saying movies are taking a hit. And I think the best way to preserve it is just to do it at its best. Do it at its best, and it'll take care of itself.
Last time I interviewed you, I was asking you about your score process, and you mentioned to me that when you were scoring Lost, you would never watch the future episodes because you were worried about giving away a clue in your music. Talk about doing a film score. Do you see every scene? Is it different?
Yeah, you do. You can't really do that same thing in film, you know, because a lot of times you might be scoring completely out of order because the one part of the film may not be finished yet, so you're like, okay, we'll work on the middle part. So you have to have an overall idea of what's going on with the story ahead of time. And that's what you do. It's called a spotting session. Sit with the director, watch the whole movie, and then decide, okay, where are we going to start working? What are the most solid parts of the movie? Because in live action, anything could change at any minute, you know? So, as opposed to Lost, where it was just like, okay, it's done here, just do it, you know? So I could do that in order. This live action, you generally can't.
I've personally cried to many of your scores, specifically the scene in Star Trek when he turns down the action and let your music drive through. Same thing with Super 8. Have you ever been emotionally moved by your own music to the point where you've actually shed a couple tears?
I wouldn't say that I was emotionally moved by my music, but I've many times been emotionally moved by what's going on in the story, you know, and because when I'm watching it, that's where I get a feeling for what it is I want to watch. And the music that I write is generally a reflection of how I'm feeling at that moment when I watch that scene. You know, so married life, you know, and Up, when they're going through, you're learning about their life, they meet when their kids are doing it. The first time I saw that, I cried. There was no music in it, but I just cried watching it, you know, and that's where it all comes from, you know. It just comes from, it's a reaction that I have to just watching something.
Okay, this is a slight wrinkle. We're going to have to go into the server room from the outside.
We?
I'm on the computer.
If you could go back and shoot any of your films in the history of your movies in IMAX, which one would work better in IMAX? What would be the best film of yours in IMAX?
In IMAX? Yes. I would have to say Biodome.
Yes!
I love Biodome.
Yes! Dude, why? That's an awesome movie!